Good morning. Welcome to a day in the life of a solar thermal engineer. So yeah, we only got one job today. We're going along to a farmhouse. I was here a couple of weeks ago, but he had a infestation of wasps or bees, and they're all in the attic. I ended up going up into the attic, and I couldn't see any when I first got in there. As I crawled around, got into the corner, I noticed there was like hundreds flying about by the lights. I ended up getting stung. I've actually still got the scar. You see that little red mark? And that was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, so obviously I couldn't finish the job because it was just not practical at all. So I ended up telling him that I would come back, and here we are 2 or 3 weeks later. So yeah, I'll see you in the house. So we're just pulling up to the house now. Lovely little bit of land he has here. Very nice customer as well. I probably obviously won't film the customer because he probably won't like that. But once we're up in the loft and I'm doing my work, yeah, I will show you what I do. So this is his farmhouse right here. There's another house there, very nice house, and this one is his here. He's got lots of land. He has actually got PV, which is photovoltaic. If you don't know what that is the electric PV panels, which most of you would know. If I said solar thermal, if I said solar panels, sorry, that's what most people think is the electric ones, because they are the most common. I do also do that, but I mainly do solar thermal. Right, okay, so we are in the house now. I'll show you what I've got to do. So this is the solar thermal system here. Turn it on, see if it's getting a reading, which it is. So this is the panel temperature. It's going to be very hot because it's just been sat in the sun as it's been switched off. So as you can see, look at the temperature going up. You can easily reach over 100 degrees in no time, which today it is. So we're going to have to cool that down before we start working. We'll just make sure the other sensors are working. So there's two panels, so you're going to have two different panel readings. That's the second one. That's not as hot, which is normal. They're on different roofs. And then we're getting a reading for the base. So that's also good. So this is not the actual correct pipe. Normally it's a pipe called a DN16. This is a Spiro, which means we can't actually alter this. Normally we can cut into this and add fittings, add a service valve, and then re-plumb it back into here. But the problem is the fittings that you need here, they are only made in the actual factory when they manufacture the pipe, so you can't cut into it because then you can't redo the fitting. So yeah, unfortunately we're not going to be able to do the service valve or the pressure gauge, which is annoying, but we can still get the system up and running. We just got to do it all from the loft instead of this room in here. So see you in the loft. Let's hope the bees are gone. I don't want to get stung again. Let's go. God, it does smell in here. It really smells up here. Yeah, last time by this light there was hundreds of them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm well paranoid being up here. I didn't actually think I was gonna have to come up here because I was gonna fit a service valve downstairs, but unfortunately we can't do that today. So, and there was also this other light, there was hundreds there. You can see it's pretty horrible up here, and I've got to crawl all the way down there with my machine and everything. This is a long job today. But anyway, enough talking. I'm going to go to the van, get some tools, get them up here and crawl down in that loft, and yeah, I'll see you soon. So this is what we was going to fit. Service valve with a pressure gauge. I made this up this morning in the yard, but yes, we won't be able to fit that now because the pipe is not correct. So we're going to get a few tools and crawl up in that horrible loft. Wish me luck. So we're going to bring Fernox, which is an antifreeze inhibitor. We've got a pump. That one doesn't look that great. We've got a pump and a cable. So we'll bring that. Bring some screwdrivers. We also need adjustable spanner, smaller pair of grips. We'll also bring the larger pair in case. We'll also bring a multimeter to check that the cables aren't live before I move the pump over. We're also going to need an extension lead. And this is what we call a purge machine. So this is what we've got to drag all the way up into the loft. At least it's a Friday and we get to go home and have a nice weekend. Yeah, I was hoping that we could just get that purge machine into the bathroom upstairs and do it all from there, but unfortunately that's not the case today. And we should also bring some roll in case any leaks happen. So, another issue, we can't get this up there. It physically will not go up because I've got to get myself and this up there, and the ladder's in the way, and unfortunately with this type of ladder you can't have it straight going up vertical. It only comes out at this angle, and there's no way it's going to go up and through there. Normally we are a two-man team. If there was two of us we'd probably get it up, but yeah, I ain't going to be able to do it on my own. So we got to now figure out how to get this system running without the main machine. So yeah, we'll figure something out. Let's do it. So here we got to crawl down in this horrible space. And last time I was here, down this little space is where I was stung by the wasp, right here. I'm just praying that there is no more down here. Starting to get annoying because these jobs definitely are. Oh, I'm so paranoid. Yeah, I sat here last time like this, in the dark, around here. I heard something, so I turned my flashlight off. Next minute, massive stabbing pain in my arm, and I was gone. I did not wait around. Thankfully, it looks like they've all gone. So yeah, this is the setup. So you've actually got an east and a west side. That pump does not sound great, so we are actually changing that today. This one seems okay, so we're going to leave that. We've got to figure out how to actually get some fluid in there without our machine and get all the air out. I think we can fill it up. Luckily they've got a filling loop. This basically is a mains water, so we can put mains water straight in, and we can actually bleed it through there, get some air out of there. It's going to be extremely hot though, so yeah, we'll see what we can do. Tried to get the purge machine up in the loft, no chance on my own. So I've actually come down to check the pipework, this pipework here, and it actually does look like, on a closer inspection, it does look like DN16. So I should be able to, we want to come down on this side, which is the cold, because it goes in hot and then it comes out colder at the bottom. So we want to cut in here, somewhere around here, and fit that valve. Hopefully, we pray that it is DN. If that's the case, we can then come in here, get the machine, cut the service valve in there, do everything from this room, because there's no way I can get up in that loft on my own. Even if there's two of us, it's very tight up there. So back to square one. Let's go get the service valve. Here she is. Let's go fit her. So yeah, the plan is to get that somewhere in there like that. Unfortunately, I haven't got a tripod, otherwise I'd love to record it, so I'll see you when it's done. Okay, so I've cut the insulation off, so we don't need that anymore. So now this is going to go somewhere like that, into there. Just checking for any leaks on the new fittings. Got pressure in there now. It's all dry. Check underneath. All dry. Success. The temperatures should start coming down. We need lots more water. This number should start to drop. We're back up in the loft, just double checking there's no leaks up here since we've installed the new pipework. The pumps are actually sounding a lot more quiet now, so I'm thinking that I probably won't even change them, in all honesty. We'll see if there's any air in here. There's a little bit, nothing major though. Like I say, the pumps, they are warm, but that's because it's very hot on the roof at the moment. Yeah, they're actually working just fine. So it comes up here, goes up there, through that one, comes up there, through that one. That one goes along and comes and returns there and goes down. This one goes up, goes around. Look at that really tight bend. That doesn't actually go through the wall. Look, that's just a really tight bend. Off that way, comes back down that way, really tight bend, and then comes to the T and comes back down. That panel is completely blocked. I'm trying to let it go in. Literally nothing's coming back. You open this one, you'll see water will start coming back. Close it and it doesn't want to come back. Bit of air comes back, can't get any water to come back. So this panel's fine. You open that one up, that comes back and returns. If you close this panel up, this one just pressures up, but it doesn't return. So that panel is completely blocked. Really tight bend, that probably doesn't help. No matter how many times I try and get the air out, you can hear it, but it doesn't want to quite release. And it's getting so hot, it's actually starting to steam now. See all that air. I'm trying my best to clear it, but so far no luck. Okay, so unfortunately I cannot get this side. See, this is one panel, that is two panels. This panel, as you can see, has no pressure in it. That side is nice and free. This side isn't nice and free. So we're going to just release whatever's in there now. This is blocked. I cannot unblock that panel. So I've spoken to the customer, and what we decided to do is we're going to shut this side off and we're just going to leave that side running. So at least they have 50% efficiency. Obviously it's not great, but it's better than nothing. So all I need to do with this one is close it. Also, there you go, I mid-position that. That stops the pump from running. So what I'm going to do is go back down, purge this side of the system, put some inhibitor, and finally we get to go. This has been quite a disaster. It's not normally that bad, but you never know what you're going to walk into. I'm just releasing the last bit of pressure from the blocked panel. There's so much heat in there as well. It's about 120 degrees. So I needed to make sure I drain it all. And now we will shut that. And now that's closed. And this side is open. Disaster. We're just going to purge the second panel, which isn't blocked. We'll then add some of this inhibitor. And that will be it. Obviously it's not what we wanted, but 50% is better than 0. So as you saw in the last video, I managed to close one side up. I managed to purge the other side, add inhibitor. It was all running how it should, So what I did was I cleaned up everything. I then went downstairs, put everything in the van. Every day before I finish a job, I put everything in the van, clean up, and I always like to go back up and just have a double check, because I've left it for like 5-10 minutes whilst cleaning. It's always good to have a double check before you leave, see if everything's running okay. So obviously, yeah, I went upstairs, checked the controller, and there was sort of like an emergency setting. So basically what had happened, even though I've shut the first panel off, it's still getting a reading from the sensor. Once it reaches over 112 degrees, comes up with like an emergency shutdown. Unfortunately, it shuts down the first panel pump and the second panel pump, which means then the panel that is free is then not getting, the pump's not turning on, so that panel ends up overheating. So yeah, pretty much a disaster. So then what I thought is, how about if I disconnect the sensor from the first panel so it doesn't get any reading? I did that. The second pump kicked on. I thought, I solved it. A few minutes later, it went back into emergency mode. Yeah, so unfortunately, without clearing the first panel and getting the system, the full system up and running, we're going to have to do some modifications, either change the controller or reset the whole lot. We can rewire it all so it just thinks the system is just one panel, which would only have one reading, and then it wouldn't overheat. Oh well, you win some and you lose some, and that one unfortunately didn't go to plan. It was meant to be that go there, fit a service valve, change a pump and get it up and running. I'm going back to the yard now. It's just gone 12:30, so I'll be going home in a couple of hours. So yeah, see you in a bit.